We've got a lot to talk about relating to the 49ers. Deebo Samuel going down with what looked like a knee injury. I still feel like it looked like a knee injury when you watch it back, but there is talk and early reports suggesting that maybe he avoided a season-ending injury and that it's an ankle injury, a serious ankle injury, probably taking him out for the remainder of the fantasy season, but maybe he could be back for the playoffs in terms of NFL football. We're going to break down all that. We'll break down Brock Purdy. I don't want to say a star being born, but is a real big sleeper quarterback being born right now in that very rich environment full of weapons, left and right. We'll talk about Brock Purdy. We'll talk about all the studs and duds, the Week 14 reactions. OEG first in the building, Space Ricky, he who collects D-Class, Trucker. Appreciate you all jumping in here. The Fantasy Football Show, it begins right now.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios, it's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern.
What is going on, good people? Thanks for joining me. My name is Smitty. You're watching the Fantasy Football Show, where I'm going to break you down. We're going to break down all of the Week 14 reactions, studs and duds, injuries, all that stuff. We're going to break it all down for you so that you know what to do walking into Week 14, what to do walking into tonight's game, what to do walking into the remainder of your 2022 fantasy football season. Man, I have to say this. I don't want to get too negative, and I know people get really upset at me when I start going at Kyle Shanahan. Number one, the Niners are in first place. The Niners in their division. The Niners are a potential Super Bowl contender now. Like, Brock Purdy's the real deal. We talked about Brock Purdy being much better than people are going to expect. Better than Jimmy G. How many jaws dropped when we started talking about that weeks ago that Brock Purdy could be better than Jimmy G? People get all upset. They get so mad. How can you say that? Jimmy G's not a top 32 quarterback in the NFL. Brock Purdy is. Brock Purdy looks really good. Brock Purdy is young. He's capable of learning and getting better. We went through this, Bob. We went through this with Jalen Hurts and everybody judging him. Now, we had two quarterbacks go down. Let's send them to the moon in hopes that they get better and healthy. We had Tyler Huntley get injured, which was, prayers up for him first and foremost, but horrible news for anybody that started him. We had Mike White go down, come back in, go down, come back in. So,
to the moon.
Hope you guys rest up and heal. Deebo Samuel,
to the moon.
Rest up and heal. But let's talk about this guy, Kyle Shanahan. Let's talk about Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan continues to injure his players, and people get so mad at me when I say that. But he's reckless with them. Let's look at the facts, okay? Let's break it down. Let's look at the facts. Okay, here are the facts. Trey Lance. How'd he get injured? Running up the gut between the tackles. Deebo Samuel. How'd he get injured? Playing running back. Running up the gut. As an RB, when you have a plethora of running backs on your roster that can handle the job, you have RBs designed to run between the tackles, yet you run your star quarterback like he's Derrick Henry, you get him injured. In the same game, he put Deebo Samuel in at running back at the end of the first half. Right before they kneeled it, they ran the ball one more time. They ran Deebo Samuel. Not one of the RBs, not Jeff Wilson, not whoever was in the lineup at the time. They ran Deebo Samuel up the gut. And now, when you have a huge lead, you turn Deebo Samuel into an RB when you don't need to. This is on Kyle Shanahan. Now, this is a catch-22 or a strange predicament we're in, right? Niners are looking really good. They make a trade for Christian McCaffrey. That is a fantastic trade. It's been the glue for this organization in this offense, which is allowed to keep the defense doing what the defense does. If the offense can't score points and move the football, guess what happens? The defense plays more. Guess what happens? The defense gets more tired. Guess what happens? The defense gets injured. And that's what we saw in the middle portion of the year where the defense got banged up. The Niners could be exposed because they got injured. Why did they get injured? The offense couldn't move the football. Purdy can move the football. I don't know if you felt this, but I felt it last week and everyone thought I was crazy. But I felt the entire offense unlocked. It felt like Purdy could exploit every weapon he had. Opposing defenses, the Tampa Bay defense is not some bum defense. They didn't have an answer. Even when Deebo went down, they didn't have an answer. So I'm worried about Christian McCaffrey, Purdy, everybody involved because Shanahan's still there. And I don't think they're firing Shanahan when they're winning. Obviously, I'm not an idiot, but he's the problem. He's the problem. He's why all the players get injured because of his usage and how he decides to use them. We knew Deebo was going down at some point. It was inevitable the way he ran this man up the gut like he's an RB. He's not an RB. He's not an RB. This news right here. Now, the thing I don't understand is it looked like he was holding his knee. I was creating a post for it. I was talking about it. I even initially started to put it on Instagram and I had to pause it because the report's coming back that it's his ankle. It looked like his knee. He was holding his knee. He was, and I'm not saying this in a way that's demeaning that he's crying. When you tear your ACL and you have all kinds of different damage, you literally are in tears. It's the most painful thing in the world, especially if you tear the MCL. When you tear the MCL on top of the ACL, this is the most painful part, this MCL right here. Typically, when you tear an ACL or you twist and tear the ACL, you're tearing one of those other ligaments, and that's why the knee injury is so painful. He was holding his knee the entire time. The reports are that it's his ankle, but I do agree he injured his ankle, but he planted his leg and then somebody landed on it and it twisted like that. You know, so it's supposed to be like this. It twisted like that. Clearly there's an ankle injury, but I thought that snapped his ACL. We'll find out what the injury is. It's being reported as an ankle injury, which is, it's strange the way that he reacted, where he was holding his knee. Now he could have just been stabilizing, you know, holding his knee and kind of lower below his knee to stabilize his ankle. Maybe it's a high ankle sprain, maybe it's somewhere. And that was just the most comfortable position to be in, to hold his knee to keep the ankle steady. I don't know, but it looked like an ankle injury. I was dumbfounded when they said ankle. I'm like, that's wrong. It's not an ankle injury. He injured his knee. He injured his knee. He was holding his knee. It looked like he was like consoling the pain. Like when I tore my ACL, that's what I did. You hold your knee. You hold it. You're holding it. You're protecting it. You're not sure what's going on. I could have swore he tore his knee. We'll find out. Part of me still wonders, even though all the reports are saying ankle. But according to this report right here, early indications are 49ers wide receiver Deebo Samuel did not suffer a serious knee injury. Sources tell the Score. I'm told the first team All-Pro badly twisted his ankle, but the team is optimistic he's okay. Deebo will undergo more tests for precautionary measures. My prediction, and I could be wrong on this is me completely guessing, and I didn't have any more angles than you guys had. I don't have a line on footage that you guys don't. It was me pausing NFL Red Zone and analyzing it over and over and over. I don't see how there's not a knee injury. I don't see how. Maybe it's a small knee injury. Maybe that's where the pain was. He was holding his knee. He injured his ankle, but his knee was the more painful part. Because maybe he tore meniscus. Maybe because when you twist your leg like that, there's so here's his knee, his leg, and his knee, in order for his let me get all the models together. In order here's the leg. Here's the leg. He's a little short. He's a little short. Let's go to the better angle. Okay, so is this the right mic? Okay. So here's the knee. Okay? Oh, I moved the camera. Here's the knee. In order for the ankle to go like this, you either have to tear your hip or your knee stays kind of in place there and you twist like that, and that can snap the ACL. And so, or it can tear meniscus, because what's happening is this bottom, this right here, this bottom part of the joint twists, and that tears the meniscus, the padding, or it stretches. In this case, if the knee went that way, it's stretching the LCL. If the knee went this way, you can see it stretching this MCL. It's stretching it. So I don't see how he doesn't have a knee injury, but we'll address that later. Everybody and their mothers writing about Etienne. I'm in the middle of talking about Deebo. I'm trying to break all the news as it happens. So hang tight. We're going into the Etienne segment here. So right now we're assuming he avoided maybe. I don't know that I buy it. I don't think I buy it. There's some knee injury in my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. But he avoided a season-ending injury apparently, according to this report. I'll certainly update you. Does that mean he's going to be able to play any of the remainder of the regular season? I doubt he could come back before week 17 or even during week 17. I think they save him for the playoffs. They're not even worried about bringing him back. They'll want him as healthy as possible walking into the playoffs if he can play in the playoffs. If he can make it to in the wild card, or well, no, they might clinch the division. If he can make it into round 1 healthy, they'll put it off. As for that's Deebo Samuel. More to come on that. Let's talk about Etienne. I mean, what can we say? Double-digit carries, no production. What can we say? He's a good running back, but he's not delivering. That's on him at some point. That's on him at some point. That's on us. It's on me. It's on all of us that believed in him, and I still believe in him. But I don't know that the production is the efficiency is there for him in this offense. They threw the ball. Lawrence threw the ball, I believe, over 40 times, and he didn't get targeted one time. I don't think Etienne got one single target, and Trevor Lawrence threw the football 40 times. That's a problem. And even though he carried the ball over 10 times, he wasn't effective. And even if it wasn't his fault, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you play for the team you're on, and you're subject to what that environment can help you produce. And in this case, we can't really know what Etienne's going to be producing from week to week anymore. And it sucks. It sucks. If we had a panic chamber episode right now, we put him in the panic chamber, we close the door. And I can't tell you to start him next week because I don't know what your options are. Would I bench him for a scrub? No. But would I put him on the bench for, obviously, Tony Pollard?
You've just been Smitty.
Of course we're starting Tony Pollard. Over a flex option like Mike Evans or Hollywood Brown, or you might have to start those players in place of Etienne until Etienne can prove himself. And it's a quick fall from grace. It's a quick fall from grace. Yeah, Lawrence did steal his TD, but it is what it is, JoJo. It is what it is. Etienne is hard to trust. I'm not saying I'm benching him in every single situation I have, but if I'm sitting on a player like even Dameon Pierce, you're going to contemplate over Etienne walking into the remaining weeks because Dameon Pierce is still getting volume. He scored a touchdown. He scored back-to-back touchdowns, I believe, and he's just getting more work. Olave, this is another good question. I mean, I would probably start Olave over Etienne for right now, and that's such a fall from grace, and it's very hard for me to say that, but I'm not going to not be honest. I'm not going to dig my heels in. It's adjust and adapt. That's the way we roll. And for those that think the Moon Men list,
The Moon Men, dropping loads in outer space,
isn't balling out, it's still rotating. Not all of them fire off
Space Monsters
at the same time during any given week, but they are still going strong. Pollard is still absolutely amazing. Hopefully we get Kenny Walker back. Etienne and St. Brown dropped duds this week. Lamb was not what we wanted, but A.J. Brown and Hurts absolutely exploded. So, Pollard, Hurts, and Brown were carrying the Moon Men list very strongly this week, but we would like these guys to fire off, at once. It would be nice if week 15 they could all come together and say, hey, you know what? Let's drop some fire. Yeah, I mean, Etienne got the workload. He got the carries. He didn't deliver. Bad carries doesn't matter. At this point, this is what it is. His situation and him cannot be separated. I'm worried. We're in panic mode about Etienne, and there's no way to really put like Zonovan Knight. Do you start Zonovan Knight or Etienne next week? We'll get to that place. That's a place we will be at. We will be hovering and lingering around that territory for Etienne next week until he proves he's back. I'm going to start him in as many places as I can. I'm telling you that right now. I will start Etienne in as many places as I can. I'm not giving up on him entirely, but he certainly is not in a good spot right now. Dobbins is a league winner. I don't know about that. He definitely had a nice run, and it was a nice surprise. Dobbins definitely played well. I said I didn't trust Dobbins this week. Obviously, I was wrong on that one. But I don't know about a league winner. This situation's been that way all year, where you think you know something coming out of one week and then you don't the next week. So I'd be real hesitant to call him a league winner. But should you grab him if he's still available? Yes. Should he be available? Probably not, because he was still a good grab. He's still a good hold. Even somebody that doubted him on my waiver show is still, if you see him there, pick him up, because he's a running back, and running backs are valuable. McKinnon over Etienne, most certainly at this point. The way they're using McKinnon, McKinnon's leapfrog Pacheco. And this is what we kind of talked about whenever we mentioned Pacheco's name. It was like, I like Pacheco. We all like Pacheco, but he had that feeling of vanishing. We knew that KC was capable of just flipping the switch and going toward another direction. And it was like I said last week, it was like you're worried about Pacheco's workload, and then boom, in the end of the game, it's there. And you're like, okay, good. But Pacheco's always a little worrisome. He was always a little worrisome. There's a little risk involved in KC just pulling the rug out from under him, like they did with Clyde Edwards-Helaire when Clyde was producing and catching touchdown passes and continued to score. But you knew it wasn't going to last. It was a paper tiger. And now we're looking at McKinnon. Will McKinnon be moved on from? Or is McKinnon going to be the guy going forward? I don't know. All I know is he's going to probably be one of the top pickups of the week, most certainly. I'm still talking about this noise about Etienne, but likely ride or die with him, says Jason. I mean, I don't blame you for going one way or the other with Etienne. Pacheco he didn't do awful, but it was not what we wanted. McKinnon balled out. McKinnon got all the work that we wanted Pacheco to get, and now McKinnon's becoming one of the top guys to pick up. Just announced they believe is a high ankle sprain for Deebo. Yeah, we'll find out if it's going to be anything knee related as well. But it's crazy to think that there's no knee issue. There's no knee injury at all. It's very, very. Kyle Shanahan said that it's a left ankle injury. We are not sure the extent, but it's most likely high ankle sprain. It's not broken, he said. That's coming from Kyle Shanahan. I'll put that on screen right here. But this is the update from Jeff Darlington that just came through Twitter about, 2 minutes ago. But man, what a crazy week number 14. It really was. There were some highs and lows. This is the update from Kyle Shanahan. We're not sure the extent, but most likely high ankle sprain. It's not broken, he said. We'll find out if there's any knee issues at all. Yeah, hopefully Skywalker's back next week. I mean, plays the Niners, but short week. I think that's why they probably held him out, is that they knew if they played him this game and he came out a little hampered, he wouldn't have enough time to recover for a very important division tilt against the Niners on Thursday night on a short week. That's kind of why I believe they sat Walker. Any concerns about the Bucs wide receivers? Certainly, bro. I mean, you're concerned about what Tom Brady's going to do from week to week. Your Evans had a touchdown call back. That would have been a very different story to tell about Mike Evans' day. He had a long touchdown call back. Scored it. I put my hands up. I stood up. I yelled. I screamed. It was already in the books in my mind. And then all of a sudden, late, yellow flag on screen, holding, offense, called it back. That was a touchdown. That would have changed the game a little bit too, 49ers on Thursday. What an awful spot for the playoffs, says Matos. Yeah. So let's hit the phone lines for a few. And this one's from Avi. Avi says J.K. Dobbins, league winner, CMC running back 1, St. Brown chilling. St. Brown's just resting up for next week. He's gonna ball out next week. So let's hit the phone lines. This one right here. I'll put this report here from Jeff Darlington on Deebo right there. Two-Tone, appreciate your question. Avi, appreciate your super chat. Phone lines are open.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Unbelievable week number 14. I mean, it's some good performances. Henry did very well. Jalen Hurts was a baller. Evan Ingram had a day. I personally apologize to anybody that asked me a question that involved Evan Ingram, and I didn't say Evan Ingram. Not that I could have known he would have dropped 170 yards and a touchdown, but Evan Ingram did very, very well. He'll be on the waiver wire ad list for next week. I don't know that he's going to do anything close to that again in week number 15 and 16 and 17, but I mean, he certainly was an amazing day for him. Ayuk will definitely go up in value with the injury to Deebo Samuel. Deebo Samuel probably not coming back during the fantasy season at all. Why do I have a cricket in here? You guys hear that cricket? Let's try and scare him. That's annoying. That is annoying. That's going to drive me nuts, man, to have a cricket in the studio. Are you kidding me? And it sounds like he's in the wall. Oh. Can you guys hear that cricket? Dial in. Sorry if I didn't check the phone line. The phone line's open. Go. Dial in 602-635-3664.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
That's going to drive me nuts, man. That's going to drive me nuts. Donovan Peoples-Jones, he did have a good day, 114 yards. Has he passed Cooper with Watson under center? I don't know if I'd go that far. I think Cooper is limited and injured, so we'll find out. But I would say he's a decent wide receiver 3-4. That cricket's doing his best Etienne impression. Can you guys hear it? Can anybody hear that cricket? No? Brian says no. Brianna says no. Does Mike White isn't a stud? Maybe he will be. He's fun, but he has a lot to prove. I'm sorry, dial in again. I missed it again. Mac, you do realize Deebo is bigger than CMC and Eli. How is it wrong to run Deebo up the middle, but the other back isn't? Because he's a wide receiver. And not to mention, like, I don't know if you're a Niner fan, or it looks like you might be not a Niner fan. Is that a Raiders hat? The whole fan base agrees. Like, go on Twitter for just 5 seconds and look at the comments underneath the Deebo Samuel injury. It's like, Kyle's got to go. What's Kyle doing? Kyle's going to ruin him just like he ruined Trey. Like, I understand your point, but there's no need to run him when you're up. You're already up. The game's out of hand. And you run Deebo Samuel as a running back, Mac. Like, explain to me how that makes sense. Like, if you're going to run him once in a while up the gut, I understand, but the choice of when he runs them is part of the problem, Mac. He ran Deebo Samuel up the gut between the tackles at halftime. The same game Trey went down. Right before the half, they were going to kneel the ball. They wanted to run the ball one more time just to drain the clock. They ran Deebo Samuel up the gut, bro, between the tackles. There was a big difference. That's the difference, Mac. It's the timing of it all, the usage, the choices. He's a horrible decision maker with big things like this. He is. I don't care. That's the problem. Is they're winning and nothing's gonna be done about it, because you don't get rid of a coach when you're on a streak like this and things are turning around. I think he takes his foot off the gas. Maybe. Hopefully not. Brock Purdy looks amazing. It might be the difference maker. You're live on the Fantasy Football Show. Who am I talking to?
You're talking to Matthew Smitty. How's it going?
What's up?
What's up? I love how passionate you are about Shanahan, by the way. It's awesome.
You what?
I love how passionate you are about Shanahan. It's hilarious.
Yeah, it's annoying though. What's
It is
up?
annoying. I agree.
What's up?
Well, man, I just wanted to ask you about Mark Andrews. What's going on with Andrews, man? I kind of held him, was hoping for some weeks, but hasn't been looking good at all.
Yeah. Hopefully Lamar comes back and unleashes him a little bit, but he's got the potential. We're just waiting for him to pop. I mean, we know the talent's there. Is it possible that he just, sits there and doesn't do anything all year and then comes back next year? Sure, but I have a feeling he's going to show back up. I really do.
I really hope so. I have, I don't know. I think you got to start him regardless. But I think Cole Kmet's been playing pretty good. I have him on my team as well, like just in case. Is there any chance you start him over Andrews, or like you just got to do Andrews, right?
I mean, you can make the argument, but I think I probably would start Andrews. But I mean, look at Evan Ingram this week. You could have said, "Oh yeah, you can't go Evan Ingram over Andrews," and Evan. I mean, anybody can blow up.
Yeah, that's fair, man. All right, well, thanks for answering the call. Appreciate you.
All right, bro. Later.
Later.
Okay, dial in.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Mac, I understand what you're saying, but I just disagree with you, as does almost everybody probably in here. Like, you can't just say because Deebo is bigger that he can be a running back. He's a wide receiver. And he plays wide back. He plays wide back very efficiently. Wide back is a very different thing than RB, lining up and running between the tackles. We could go in circles around it. I get your point. I just 1,000% disagree with it, which is fine. I love differing opinions. But Deebo Samuel should not be run like a running back, Mac. And you're ignoring my point. My point, Mac, is that he shouldn't run Deebo Samuel when the game is out of hand. He shouldn't run Deebo Samuel up the gut when Trey just went down running up the gut, when they're literally going to kneel the ball down and they're just going to run one more time to drain the clock, then kneel it down. You're going to run Deebo Samuel? So, Mac, explain that. Argue that. Stop talking about whether he's a bigger player and he can handle. Why is Shanahan making those decisions? Why is everybody getting hurt, Mac? And Mac, call in. I'm not trying to go at you. I would love to have a discussion about it. But call in and let's discuss it, because why is everybody getting hurt? You're live on the Fantasy Football Show. You're live.
Yo, Smitty, what's good, man?
What's up? Who's this?
Smoke.
What's up, Smoke?
Not much, man. I listened to your shit about not benching Etienne, man, and this nigga fucking done it this week, bro.
Bro, dropping multiple bombs, bro. I told you. You drop a bomb, you get blocked. You come in here and you drop multiple curse words. That's gonna knock the monetization of the video off, bro. Anyway, next caller.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Dude comes in with a triple bomb. I let the first one go, and then he just kept dropping it. I swear I cuss like a sailor, bro, off the air. But we're not doing that because for several reasons. Anyway. Dial in. You're live on the Fantasy Football Show. Who am I talking to?
Hello.
What's up?
Yeah, hello.
What's up?
Yeah, I want to know who this is right now.
Who's this?
Let me ask you a question. Why are you calling my girlfriend in the middle of the night?
Well, she needed some advice.
Don't make excuses, boy. You tell me who you are.
I'm your daddy.
Don't deny it, boy.
I'm your daddy.
You better tell me the truth right now.
It's been a while, but I haven't told you yet. I'm your daddy.
Stop yapping and listen.
Mm-hmm.
Don't even know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I am so angry right now. You are getting me frustrated.
That's all right. You're live.
Yeah. I'm your daddy.
What's up?
Hello?
Yo.
Yeah. Yo, why are you hating on Deebo so much?
Why am I hating on Deebo so much? I love Deebo.
Yeah, why are you hating on Shanahan?
Why am I hating on Shanahan? Because Shanahan continues to injure his players. Even in the you go in the comment section of any Schefter or Rappaport tweet, it's loaded with Shanahan is doing it again. He's running Deebo Samuel up the gut when he doesn't need to. The game's out of hand. He's doing it at halftime. He's running his quarterback like he's Derrick Henry. So what do you mean? What do you mean? I have every right to be upset at that because he's injuring Deebo. First of all, you started off your call saying, why do I hate Deebo? You don't even know anything about my analysis if you think I hate Deebo. And then when I said you're wrong, you came in with a different angle. Like, I
mean, first off, you said Deebo's overweight, but he's been pushing more weights in the gym. He's been lifting out. So he's been feeling good. And then if Shanahan runs calls up the gut, that's how the record's so good. He has to run calls up the gut, or else his play calls will be limited.
I don't think you're addressing what I said. When the game's out of hand, when they don't need, he runs meaningless plays, and the players get injured on those plays half the time, bro. And not to mention, just take a look at the entire running back room from last year. The entire room, you had 7 RBs. They're all injured. You can't tell me that you don't think something else is going on there. I don't know what it is. I ask Niner communities because I feel like you guys have better insight on what's going on there. But why is everybody injured? Why are you the most injured team in the NFL constantly?
All right. You might have a point. I got to go, Smitty. My mom's home. I got to go.
All right. Tell her, hey, later.
All right.
Anyway, run CMC or Mason up the gut. Exactly. Or not even CMC. And then meaningless, when the game's out of hand, you run Mason. The game's out of hand, you run Mason. You're live on the Fantasy Football Show.
Hi, Smitty.
What's up, man?
Hey, my name's Angus. I was just wondering. I'm in a bit of a pickle here. I'm up 30, but he has 5 to play, all in the late game. I have Waddle, D-Hop, and I'm kind of at a toss-up between Raheem Mostert and Jeff Wilson. I picked up Raheem Mostert because he was just like on the waiver wire today. So I just scooped him up before anybody else could, but I'm just not really sure who's the better option.
All right, so between who?
I'm at a toss-up between Jeff Wilson and Raheem Mostert for my last flex spot.
For tonight, okay. Or
for tonight, yeah.
I'm going Jeff Wilson, bro. I mean, it's like, could what happened to between McKinnon and Pacheco happen with Wilson and Mostert? It could. I probably wouldn't have.
Yeah, I'm also in a PPR league too, so.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't. I probably wouldn't hesitate before watching McKinnon take over for Pacheco when we were ultra confident Pacheco was going to get work.
Okay.
All
right. So, what you're taking Wilson over Mostert tonight?
I am.
Okay.
I am, but do you hear the hesitation in my voice though, bro? I do. I wasn't hesitating last night. I'm hesitating now. It's not that I like Mostert more. I'm just like, we just saw McKinnon take Pacheco's job in some ways. I mean, Pacheco still outsnapped him between the tackles and everything, so Pacheco's still involved. But man, it was frustrating to watch. And McKinnon looks good. He looks good. I'm not trying to take anything away from him, but like part of me does worry a little bit. Yeah. Mostert did out carry Jeff Wilson last week, but my argument for that was that Jeff Wilson's still new to the offense, and they had to go into like a lot of like hurry ups and do different things to try and get back and just throw. So they put Mostert in, who's more comfortable with that offense. But like, do they stay with him now? I don't know. It's really hard to know. Let's take a vote. Because I don't want you putting in Wilson and then he doesn't play, bro. Because I don't know. I felt very good about it earlier in the week. I don't feel very good about it now. So let's vote, guys. Vote Mostert or Jeff Wilson. Who we telling them to roll with tonight? And let me send a text message to my boy Raj real quick and my quad box boys, and let's see what they say. Wilson or Mostert tonight.
I appreciate it, Smitty.
You know, because they know this crew very well. They know Mike McDaniel very well. Let's see what they think. I don't know. I really badly wanted to say Wilson. I'm a little bit like hesitant now. I think Wilson's a good start if they decide to use him. I think they want to get back to what was working, and they traded for him, and they used him right away. So unless he did get benched because of the fumble, and it wasn't just game script. Let's see what they say. So far the chat is saying Wilson, trust Mostert. I'm playing Wilson, Mostert, Wilson. His style's better for the Wilson, Mostert. Flip a coin. I mean, you're stuck, bro. I don't know.
Yeah.
I go Wilson, but I with hesitancy, unfortunately.
Okay. I think for me it's going to end up being a game time decision. I'm going to keep flipping back and forth and trying to read articles or whatever, but we'll see. We'll see who goes off.
Let me look up one more thing real quick, and then when I disconnect with you, I'm going to check my phone, and once I hear back from my boys, I'll tell you what they said. But
Okay,
I'm going to look up Mostert news real quick and just Mostert. There's a lot of reports that suggest that he got his job back and that Wilson got benched. But I just don't know if that's game script, but I'm hesitant right now.
Yeah.
Bro, I don't know. I wish I had a good feeling on this one.
No, it's all good. I understand.
Yeah. I guess, bro.
Because they're like projected the same amount of points too, so and like he's projected like on underdog and 5-6, like Mostert has a few more yards than him. It's just like so split down the middle. I just can't tell.
I guess I go Wilson, but bro, I mean the reports are suggesting like it's gonna be Mostert starting though. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'm in playoff position. It's just if I win this game, I get the first round bye. So that's kind of why I'm fighting. And I'm in like a tough spot. I'm projected to lose, but I'm up 30 points. I have 3 to play. He has 5 to play, and they're all studs in the late window, like in the late game. So
yeah,
I mean, I'm just trying to give it my best shot.
Yeah, trust your gut because I'm on the fence, bro. I even while you were talking, I was tempted to go Mostert, and then I kind of held back.
Yeah.
I don't know, bro. I don't know. It's one of those things, man, where it's 50-50. But good luck.
All right. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Love the show. Keep doing your thing.
Show loves you back. It's one of those ones where, like, I literally feel on the fence without one. Like, I slightly lean Wilson based on my preference and what I feel, but I don't know that the team feels the same way. Game's about to start. That cricket is driving me nuts. He stopped. God, where is it at? What's the best way to get a cricket? Does anybody know? It's going to drive me mad. Jerry Rice, the man. You need upside, bro. Purdy to the moon. Let's give Purdy a moonshot.
To the moon.
Purdy looked good. All right, guys. I will see you all later. I wish I had more to report other than, I mean, let's just go over. I'm going to go over some of the things that are in the headlines of news wires and such right now before we go. Travis Kelce, 4 of 9 for 71 yards. Disappointing game for Travis Kelce. Godwin, 54 yards. Caught 5 of 9 balls. Mike Evans, 44 yards, no touchdown, but he had a touchdown called back. He would have had at least 60 yards, 70 yards, and a touchdown, maybe even more, had that touchdown not been called back. Dulcich, 42 yards. Deebo Samuel, ankle injury, most likely high ankle sprain. May have avoided serious injury. We'll find out, but serious injury meaning he's out for, the playoffs. I think he's probably out for the regular season with a high ankle sprain. McCaffrey, 14 carries, 119 yards, and a touchdown. 2 receptions for 34 yards to add to that. Brock Purdy, 185 yards and 2 touchdowns, and he had 2 carries for 3 additional yards and a touchdown. 3 total touchdowns for Brock Purdy. Russell Wilson's in the concussion protocol now. Very, very shooken up. I wouldn't be surprised if he sat one more game minimum. Russell Wilson got rocked. Tom Brady, 253 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Looking very shaky right now. DJ Moore did not catch any of his 3 targets. What a disappointing game. Jerry Jeudy, I apologize for anybody that asked me a Jerry Jeudy question, and I did not say Jerry Jeudy. He had 73 yards and 3 touchdowns today. Crazy day for him. I think a lot of people are going to make him a must start, and then he'll probably disappoint you, but we'll see. But Jerry Jeudy, very big day. Anybody that asked me a McKinnon question, I sincerely apologize that I didn't say McKinnon. He had 22 yards rushing, but he had 7 receptions for $112 and 2 touchdowns receiving. Big day. Higgins could play, but ultimately we did not want him out there, said Zach Taylor. Higgins a big, fat 0. Conklin, 28 yards. Patrick Mahomes, 352 and 3 TDs and 3 interceptions. A mixed bag for him. Tyler Huntley was injured. Seems good. Ravens coach John Harbaugh said about him. We'll see about his Week 15 status if Lamar can't play. 60 yards receiving for Elijah Moore. McKenzie, 21 yards. Singletary, 39 yards, added 4-yard reception. No touchdowns. James Cook, 6 yards, adding 9 yards receiving. What a bust James Cook was this week. Mike Williams' active game is about to kick off. Jamal Williams, 37 yards. That's it. Knox, 41 yards and a touchdown, finally doing something. DeAndre Swift, 6 times he ran the ball for 21 yards. Big fat bust this week. Gabe Davis, 3 catches, 31 yards. That one's on me too. Amon-Ra, not bad, but not an amazing day, but not bad. 6 receptions for 68 yards. He ended up salvaging his day a little bit. And Njoku, 56 yards and a touchdown. When he's healthy, he's good, but he's got to stay healthy. Christian Kirk, 45 yards. Hit that like button on your way out the door. TJ Hawkinson, 77 yards. Michael Carter, rushed 5 times for 5 yards. Zay Jones, 77 yards and a touchdown. Zonovan Knight, now an every down player. And at least a high-end flex play. 71 yards rushing. 2 catches for 6 yards. Thielen, 65 and a touchdown. Garrett Wilson, 78 yards. Samaje Perine, 22 yards rushing and a touchdown he scored, which was phenomenal. Ingram, 162 and 2 touchdowns. I said 1 touchdown earlier. I apologize. Evan Ingram, 11 of 15. He pulled at 11 receptions on 15 targets for 162 and 2 tutties. Unbelievable day. Dalvin Cook, 15 carries for 23 yards and a touchdown. I just wanted to kind of give you guys an update on as many players as I could in case you didn't have a chance to check. Dalton Schultz has been balling out, 6 receptions for 87 yards. Barkley, 28 yards, added 2 receptions for 20 yards. Horrible day for Barkley. Burrow, 239 and 2 touchdowns and an interception. Not an amazing day, but not a bad day. CeeDee Lamb, 33 yards, bad day. Goff, 330 and 3 TDs. Diggs, 37 yards. Tony Pollard, 42 yards on the ground and a touchdown. 4 receptions for 20 yards. Nice day for Pollard. Continues to be ultra efficient. One of the more efficient running backs in the National Football League. Nick Chubb, 34 yards. Added 3 catches for 20 yards. Zeke Elliott, 62 yards and a touchdown. Mark Andrews, 17 yards. Kareem Hunt, nothing. Chark, 94 yards and a touchdown. Nice day for Chark. Dak, 1 TD, 2 interceptions, 284. Devontae Smith, 64 yards and a touchdown. Mike White, 268. Injured twice. Etienne, 17 carries. The carries are there. The volume's there. Second game in a row. He's got high percentage of snaps played. And 17 carries, he gets 32 yards. Panic chamber. Freiermuth, 33 yards and a touchdown. Mixon, 96 yards total. 2 receptions for 10 yards. A.J. Brown, 70 and a touchdown. Jamison Williams, 41 yards and a touchdown. Caught a touchdown. That was nice to see. Looked good. Pickens, 78 yards. Miles Sanders, 144 and 2 touchdowns. Miles Sanders to the moon.
To the moon.
Unbelievable outing. Derrick Henry, 121 and a touchdown.
To the moon.
Nice job, Derrick Henry. Jamar Chase, 119 and a touchdown.
To the moon.
Justin Jefferson, 223 and a touchdown. 11 catches on 15 targets, 223 yards and a touchdown.
To the moon.
Unreal stat line. Amari Cooper, 42 yards. Dameon Pierce, 78 yards and a touchdown. Two games in a row, but Dameon Pierce is kind of doing well. Josh Allen, bust of a day, 147 and 1 touchdown. Davis Mills, 175 and an interception. Najee Harris, 33 yards and a touchdown. Deshaun Watson, 276 and a touchdown and an interception. Jalen Hurts, the final one I'm going to call out, 217, 2 touchdowns, 7 carries for an additional 77 yards and a touchdown. I'm going to let you all go. Please subscribe if you're new. Please leave a thumbs up on the way out the door. And let me get these super chats out of the way real quick. Mac, appreciate you. Deebo is bigger than CMC. How is it wrong to run Deebo up the middle? I appreciate that super chat, by the way, Mac. Avi, appreciate your super chat. Avi says Henry and Deebo are very different players. It's a little super chat war here. Cody says, is Chubb someone to be worried about? Absolutely, Cody. And we'll go over that in the panic chamber. But, I mean, you got to play him if you have him. There's no trading, really, for anybody. Smitty, 98 to 88. I have Keenan Allen. He has D-Hop and Mostert. It's going to be close. It's going to be close. Check my super chat. Just did. Appreciate you. And I will see you all on the flip side. I don't know if I'm going to go live again tonight. I might. I'm not sure. Everybody's still sick in my household, so... appreciate all you guys that super chatted. Mac, I appreciate the conversation. Hopefully we're good. And I'll see you all maybe tonight, but definitely tomorrow. Don't forget to watch Yellowstone tonight. New episode. Look at Herbert. I keep telling people, telling you DPJ is legit. He looks good. I wouldn't run Christian McCaffrey up the middle in this scenario either, and that's the kind of the point. And I was trying to give that, I was trying to convey that to Mac, but I don't think he was having it. That it didn't matter. It's like there's no point in running Christian McCaffrey or Deebo when you're up that big. Like pull him out or maybe McCaffrey more so because he's a running back. He's designed to do that. If you want to run him a little longer than normal, sure. But there's a certain point where you pull him out. But in terms of Deebo, there's no sense in running Deebo between the tackles. I don't care how big he is. Just because Gronkowski was big, you're gonna run Gronkowski up the gut. You're gonna Deebo's not built to be a running back. He is a wide receiver. He's a big wide receiver. He's like a tight end. He's more of a tight end than he is anything else. He's fast. I'm not saying he's not fast, but he's not built to be a running back. He's thick. He's a big dude, but he's not built to be a running back. He doesn't have a running back frame. He's bigger than a wide receiver frame, and that's why he's good at running the ball. But he's not an RB. All right, I'll see you all later.